Hi, my name is Colton. Today we are going to be doing our final presentation video for University 1, teaching one of the subjects we learned in the class throughout the year in this short presentation. So today I'm going to be talking about career services and what we have available to us, and more so in a way of picking majors and picking careers for your future. There's a lot of myths that go on about students and how they pick their majors and how they pick their careers and so forth. And a lot of college students, one of the big myths are they're 100% certain about their major. They know that's dead set right away, that's what they want to do, and that, they're not going to change their major. They're going to pick one and stick with one. And a lot of times that's a myth, actually. A lot of students go into school picking a major thinking, oh, that sounds cool. I think that's what I want to do. And then they don't end up knowing much about it. And after a short amount of time, they realize that's not what they want to do. Actually, anywhere from 50 to 75% of students change their major throughout their college career. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes maybe a little bit more research should be taken into consideration before choosing a major, just so that you're not having to catch up afterwards and backtrack. Another myth that we hear often is that students should always pick a major that's practical to them, that's going to make sense for their future and their lifelong career that's coming up to them. And that's not necessarily always true. My case, for instance, I come from an agriculture background, which is what I'm majoring in plant science, crop production, and it's what I love to do. That's what I'm happy that I am majoring in that, to have the knowledge from that background. But recently, I have a little bit of my family side that comes from the fire service. I became involved in that, and that sparked a huge interest career-wise for me. So as I'm going into this, I'm keeping my major as an agriculture major. Gonna go through with that, but afterwards, after I finish, I'm also going to pursue an associate's degree in fire technology, fire science. So it's one of those things that I didn't necessarily decide on that once I had already declared and started school or whatever, but now it's one of those things that, okay, let's go ahead and do that. So students need to figure out and pick what they enjoy the most, what you enjoy the most, and what you want to do with your future, not what someone else tells you. Any degree can provide you with numerous job opportunities and numerous openings on things to do. One of the biggest things is kind of like in steps to take is taking an assessment. Go through and decide what interests you have, what skills you possess, what your values are, how your personality is. Do you want to be sitting in a cubby all day working by yourself, or are you a people person? Do you want to be out there talking to people, helping people, being active, things like that, and your lifestyle. Some people, maybe like to travel on weekends and do stuff like that. So, you kind of got to choose and decide a job that will work best for you from there on that. One of the bigger things that I think is kind of important in picking not only a career but your major as well, which they coincide with each other, but are your interest. Because in the reality of things, if you're not happy with your major and if you're not happy with your job that you have, that's not necessarily what you want to be doing. So they give you, you can take all these evaluations and stuff, but there's the 6 main brackets of interest. You have your realistic people, the doers that like to go out there, get things done. I would consider myself a realistic person. Investigative, thinkers, maybe investigative, not just so, maybe in the criminology side of things, but there's a whole line of things that can go along with investigative. Artistic, those who like to create and design things. Technology can fall under stuff like that. Social, again, the people, the public workers, teachers, police officers, firefighters, things like that, that enjoy helping others as their career. And enterprising, the persuaders, marketing, selling things along those lines. And your conventionals, people who are very organized, maybe lawyers or accountants or things like that and so forth. So again, Fresno State offers a really unique career exploration services and deciding on what you want to do there and what your major is. So that's a great thing that we have offered to us. But in the retrospect of things, you have to pick something that in the end goal you're going to be happy with, and maybe that isn't necessarily the most convenient thing. So that's all I have for today. Thank you.